what would you say your 3 tips are that you would give someone wanting to get into ultra running?
I think it's important to do some research. I think you have to go into it with your eyes open. Whilst you learn things along the way, I think it's important to go in with the research of, what other people have learned and stuff, and have an open mind to that. So you might think, you know a lot already, but it's so different to road running and to marathons, and it really is like the next step. So I'd fully recommend listening to things like this and people that have done them. And not everything they say will necessarily work for you, but it's interesting and good to hear, so that you can at least trial and error. That's what your training's about. Trying things, trying all those different foods and seeing what works for you and what doesn't. And then I think I've learned a lot about recovery. I think that's really important. I think whilst people can write a 20-week training plan of when to run, how far to run, maybe how fast to run, it's very important to factor recovery into that. So I knew last week I wanted to buy, my West Lab salts. I've bought calf sleeves and all sorts for recovery, so that I can face my next run. And I think lastly, just enjoy it. I think the camaraderie of ultra running is amazing. I think everyone wants everyone to succeed, and everyone wants to make new trail friends along the way. So enjoy it, take the time to socialize. I think that's really important.
Yeah, no, 3 excellent points there. That's something that I would echo, all of those things actually. And actually, to be honest, although I've done a few myself, I'm sitting here absolutely in awe of what you guys have achieved and inspired by it. And hearing those tips just make me take it back again and do some basics again. And that's really important. Even, anyone out there should definitely, like you said, tip 1 was spot on, the research bit, absorb, and then see what works, I guess, right?
Yeah. There's so much out there as well in terms of like nutrition, and how important it is, because as you said earlier, you can sort of get through a marathon without really worrying about nutrition. You just can't, can you, on this? You need those, we tried all sorts of different nutrition brands and stuff like that, and it was really interesting to sort of research all of that, and all your electrolytes that you need and how it affects like your stomach and all those sorts of different things.
Yeah. And actually the bit you said at the end was so refreshing to hear. It's almost like there's a lack of ego in the ultra world, right? There's no big egos, is there? It's all about friends and support, and even the fast guys at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were some incredible times at Race to the Stones. I think the guy that came first did like 8.5 hours, which is just an incredible feat. But I bet he's still very down to earth and won it with grace, I'm sure. So I didn't obviously see him, but everyone's so great. It's lovely.
Well, I share that. I don't tend to see the front runners, but I think the ones that I've happened to talk to, absolutely. I've done some crewing events as well for a couple of our runners, and you end up at the finish line, and all of the finishers if they can, they try and stay around, and they're supporting complete strangers on the way in. I know Race to the Stones is over a weekend for some of the participants. You guys went straight through all in one go, non-stop. But even then, there's a massive difference in time, right? So I think, the support is huge. But yeah, that's something I really like about the whole ultra running world itself.